Right now at 5, a man avoids homicide charges after selling fentanyl to a West Salem man.
And the La Crosse Fire Department teaches fire safety to elementary students.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 5.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 5. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown.
A Sparta man faces attempted homicide charges following an incident on Sunday. 39-year-old Andrew Nauman faces first-degree attempted homicide after Sparta police found a woman with life-threatening injuries on the 100 block of West Oak Street. Nauman was initially arrested for bail jumping in connection to a June incident where he was arrested for battery and strangulation of another victim. He was out on signature bond. In court Tuesday, Nauman was given a $1,000 signature bond for the bail jumping charge and a $1 million cash bond for the other pending charges.
An Arkansas man will avoid homicide charges due to a plea deal. 26-year-old Lathan Foster of Arkansas was accused of first-degree reckless homicide after allegedly selling fentanyl to a West Salem man who overdosed and died in December 2021. A plea deal Tuesday altered his charge to a felony count of manufacturing and delivering narcotics. Foster pled no contest to these charges and was found guilty. A sentence hearing is set for December 3rd.
Today, Eau Claire North High School was placed on a brief hold. This morning, a visitor was arrested due to behaving erratically in the office area of the school. The school's resource officer, Zach Becker, intervened, and later on, the Eau Claire police came and took that individual into custody.
Even warmer conditions today, starting off even warmer too, and plenty of sunshine out there as all the areas pretty much got back into the 70s, even mid 70s in a couple locations. So once again, really pleasant conditions. Fall colors are starting to pop up a little bit more around here. We're kind of in that 25 to 50%. You can start seeing that. I think over the next week, we're going to get closer and closer to the peak. Peak is already approaching for northeastern Minnesota and Wisconsin too. So about another week for them, and they'll be past that. Overall temperatures are in the upper 60s now, low 70s. A few spots to the south, still the mid 70s, 73 in Prairie du Chien to 74 in Boscobel, out to the west too. So everyone's about a degree or two warmer than yesterday. Big picture shows really high pressure overhead. The only activity you can see is well to the east or down to the southwest part of the U.S. Another system that's out to the northwest is something that's going to play a factor in our weather, but not for at least another couple days. Overall this evening, very mild conditions for this time of year, getting back just to 50 at 10 p.m. And La Crosse, very similar conditions, light east wind out there, clear skies, 50, mid 50s by 10 p.m. Once again, very mild conditions. Now overnight, we'll kind of continue that trend, a little bit milder than we had the past few nights, more mid 40s to some upper 30s as we saw. The big picture news coming out tomorrow is potential for the aurora. We have a pretty decent solar storm approaching. Due to the timing, it could linger into Thursday night, so we'll kind of break that down too, along with big cool down coming later in the forecast.
That was pretty nice because last Sunday I could see a little bit of sky discoloration, but you couldn't really see it too well.
Yeah, a couple nights ago we had a good view, but this one has potential to be very strong. It just depends on the timing, so something to keep in mind.
Sure. Thank you, Greg.
Minnesota's First Lady Gwen Walz campaigned in Wisconsin today on behalf of the Harris Walz campaign. She spoke in Madison after her stop in Beloit this morning. Her speech highlighted the Harris campaign's vision for reproductive health care freedoms and an urgency for people to get out and vote.
A new way forward is within our reach. It is right there. But we are going to have to fight for it. Maybe harder than we've ever fought for anything before.
It's been a busy October for the battleground state as Walz's stop comes a day after President Biden's visit to Milwaukee, where he emphasized the importance of job creation and the ongoing efforts to replace lead pipes. Former President Donald Trump also campaigned in a suburb of Madison earlier this month.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has announced a new $52 million grant for broadband. The grant will expand broadband access to nearly 8,000 Minnesota homes and businesses across 24 counties. It's through the Border-to-Border Broadband program. This action comes after the governor signed legislation in 2023 that called for $100 million in broadband investment.
Winona State University received a $1.1 million grant from the Department of Defense for a campus civic center. The center center will promote civic engagement and leadership among students, faculty, local government, and nonprofit organizations. Students will have the opportunity to gain hands-on experience interacting with government officials and collaborating on public issues. The Civic Center hopes to bring awareness to the challenges facing local governments and develop relationships between those governments and the community.
Tellurian Behavioral Health is receiving $30,000 to help open their new facility in La Crosse. The funds come from a non-state grant program that's designed to improve services and organizations that help the general public. The new facility will offer stabilization services to people experiencing an acute mental health crisis. The organization's new facility will offer those services again to people experiencing acute mental health crisis. Tellurian Social Services Manager says these funds will improve the experience of seeking care during one of those crises.
Giving them access to the services that are meant to help them at the time they really need it most, to eliminate long wait periods in emergency rooms and eliminate human suffering for those that are experiencing a mental health crisis.
So that program will offer short-term support to up to 8 individuals at a time. Tellurian is hoping to open the facility soon.
Today, elementary school students are learning about fire safety. The La Crosse Fire Department visited Spence Elementary School for Fire Prevention Week. Students learned how to create an escape plan in case of a fire and the importance of smoke alarms. The community risk educator emphasizes that being prepared for fires can make them less frightening.
We practice drills at school. They're not scary. You can practice at home. Fire safety doesn't have to be a scary concept. If you know what to do and you have a plan, it's not so scary.
The visit is part of a series of Fire Prevention Week events that will continue until Saturday.
The fire department isn't the only one educating the community on fire safety. The fire protection specialists also got in on the action with their own Fire Prevention Week event. This one, which took place in Bangor, was not only to offer free extinguisher inspections, but also to give attendees the opportunity to purchase new smoke alarms and participate in hands-on live burn training.
If you can get that fire out when it's in its incipient stage, that first 30 seconds to 2 minutes is vital. You can probably have that out and under control, or at least you and your family out safely before the fire department arrives. So the fire extinguisher is your escape route.
If you missed today's event, we've got a link to their website to learn about fire prevention, and you can also make an appointment for hands-on safety training. Folks with Parkinson's disease are pedaling away in the Chippewa Valley.
The Chippewa Falls YMCA is offering a class called Pedaling for Parkinson's. The 8-week biking program began last week to help improve symptoms of people with Parkinson's disease, a nervous system disorder that causes brain cells to weaken, affecting movement. Each week, folks hop on bikes to improve balance and reduce symptoms of tremors. It's part of YMCA of Chippewa Valley's health intervention programs, which are classes that prevent and combat chronic disease. The class also provides a community for people with the illness.
This is a group of people, we're all in here with a similar condition, we're all different age groups, male and female, and it just makes it easier to do it as a group.
The class will soon be offered to other YMCA of Chippewa Valley locations. Right now it runs Mondays and Wednesdays from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at the Chippewa Falls YMCA. We'll have a link on our website to when classes begin at other locations. Extreme heat is destroying California walnut trees.
Its effect on nationwide supply and potentially your wallet after this.
Get an 11% rebate on everything now at Menards. Get free estimates fast on new energy-efficient windows from JELD-WEN. Choose from vinyl or wood windows and customize the perfect size for your home. Get an 11% rebate on all JELD-WEN windows. Shop our huge selection of window images, blinds, and shades. Room darkening vinyl blinds starting at $11.99 each after rebate. Plus, you can get them cut to width for free in store.
Save big money at Menards.
Every day we battle illegal drugs coming into our community.
And we know the attacks on Tammy Baldwin are not true.
Tammy's working with law enforcement to stop the flow of fentanyl.
She brought Democrats and Republicans together
to crack down on drugs coming from China and Mexico,
giving us more tools to fight drug smugglers.
And Tammy voted 32 times to strengthen the border.
Don't believe the attacks.
It's Tammy Baldwin I trust to keep Wisconsin safe.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message. You'll never find a better time to upgrade your dining area than now during the dining sale at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota. From kitchen tables to elegant dining rooms, even stools and pub sets, it's all on sale. And right now, on top of already marked down sale prices, you can take off an extra $100, $200, or $400. Choose from in-stock options or design your own. The dining sale, happening now at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota.
Arthritis, high blood pressure, breast cancer. Almost everyone has a pre-existing condition and could lose health insurance if Derek Van Orden and Washington Insiders get their way. They take money from big insurance companies, then try to strip coverage for pre-existing conditions. Van Orden and Washington Insiders don't care about you, so if you get sick, you get dropped. Time to drop Derek Van Orden and these Washington Insiders from Congress.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
Your journey to wellness begins at Vernon Memorial Healthcare, where excellence in orthopedic care is a reality. From initial consultation to post-operative recovery, every step of the way is tailored to you. The numerous awards for orthopedic services are a testament to our entire team's skill and dedication. Your path to wellness is paved with our unwavering support and expertise. Trust us for a brighter, more active tomorrow. Vernon Memorial Healthcare.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
California is in danger of losing nearly 20% of its walnut crop because of recent bouts of extreme heat. The state grows more than 99% of the U.S. walnut supply.
Farmers say a heat wave in July caused extensive damage to walnut trees, resulting in a drastic reduction in the harvest, and unusual extreme heat this month is causing additional damage.
The big impact growers are seeing is the size of the nuts, and they're also reporting that the production numbers are quite low as compared to the previous year.
Agriculture officials are expecting a 19% drop in walnut production statewide,
costing the industry more than $100 million.
Because of the reduced supply, the cost of the nuts could rise. More than 600 different viruses are living on your shower heads and toothbrushes.
We'll tell you how they are benefiting you when we come back.
Mild and quiet conditions continue with even potential for some 80s in the next couple days, but we do have a big cool down coming towards the end of the weekend. We'll break all that down and show you if we got any precipitation in the forecast. That coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
I've met so many people in western Wisconsin looking for a change. We need fresh ideas to tackle the issues families are facing every day. Inflation, healthcare costs, tax relief. In November, vote for someone putting in the legwork to find solutions. Vote Ryan Hipsch for Assembly.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's big snacking and candy event. Right now, save on our incredible one-of-a-kind selection of craveable candies, nuts, and trail mixes, and more. Like Blaine's Farm and Fleet select milk chocolate peanut butter malt balls, just $7.99. Resealable bags of Blaine's brand cashews or mixed nuts, $17.99. Rewards members save an extra $3. Select classic candies are on sale, 20% off. Plus, save the date for Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland opening weekend. The magic begins Saturday, October 12th.
Here in Wisconsin, my patients trust me with their personal medical decisions and never ask, what does my congressman think? That doesn't stop Derek Van Orden. Van Orden calls himself 100% pro-life, compared abortion to genocide. And Van Orden said he opposed abortion with no exceptions for rape or incest. Your personal medical decisions belong to you, not him. And Derek Van Orden doesn't belong in Congress.
HMP is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Does your child have sleep disorders, ADHD, ADD, speech issues, or mouth breathing? These are a few symptoms of a myofunctional disorder. If left untreated, it can cause disrupted sleep, TMJ pain, snoring, and other health problems. At Allen Dental, our myofunctional therapist will develop a plan to retrain the face, mouth, and throat muscles, leading to better sleep, mouth alignment, and nasal breathing, which has so many benefits for overall health. Contact Allen Dental today to schedule your appointment.
Who's that Derek Van Orden think he is? He thinks he's better than us. Like that time he screamed at somebody, I don't give a who you are. I'm a congressman.
Language! Who does Derek Van Orden think he is, supporting an abortion ban?
I'm Rebecca Cook. Let me tell you who I am. I grew up on a dairy farm, run a small business, and I wait tables. Around here, we work hard, respect our neighbors' freedoms, and aren't looking for special treatment. We need one of us to represent us. That's why I approve this message.
Steve Doyle says,
I'm working for you.
Unless, of course, you're a senior on fixed income or middle-class family. Steve Doyle voted against bipartisan tax relief to help you with rising costs. Steve Doyle, playing political games, not working for us.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Well, a new study identifies more than 600 different viruses living on shower heads and toothbrushes.
It's a number the study's lead researcher calls absolutely wild. Many of the microbes on toothbrushes come from a mixture of the human mouth and the surrounding environment. On the shower heads, many originate from water sources, but these viruses are not the kind that make you sick.
Yeah, bacteriophages are the natural enemy of bacteria. Each tripod-looking phage has evolved to hunt, attack, and eat a specific bacterial species. Phages are currently in clinical trials with hopes to create new drugs to treat antibiotic-resistant bacteria.
Well, not a lot of activity out there besides being dry and warm.
Yeah.
And fun fact, we have Hawaiian T-shirt day here in the studio, in the office, every Friday. And we've been debating, when are we going to transition to that flannel yet?
Yeah.
But according to this week, Greg, we're still going to be in Hawaiian T-shirts for a little bit longer.
And definitely not flannel. You might need that come Sunday, but definitely not Friday, too. We've had the Northern Lights. The sun cycle has been outstanding so far as it reaches its max here probably next year. So aurora chances, plenty of them this year, and we're going to have another great opportunity potentially for tomorrow night. It'll start probably tomorrow afternoon. It'll hit this, as we call it, a CME, basically magnetic plasma coming from the sun. It's going to hit. But by the time we get to tomorrow evening, because obviously we need the darkness, it should be ongoing. And this time could change, but definitely these levels that are predicted, we're looking at 4 or 5. So you look at the opportunity, this could be definitely visible with the naked eye here and potentially even further south. So it depends on the arrival time. We'll see if this does. But the last time we had something this potentially strong in May, it did go on for about 12 to 15 hours. So conditions are great here. No clouds to deal with and everything else. So once again, another opportunity to see the Northern Lights. We've seen it quite a bit. We have warm conditions for Thursday, Friday, as I mentioned. Cooler on Saturday. A front comes through Friday. It'll cool us down a little bit on Saturday, but really the big difference comes Sunday. But we might see a few showers, especially go further north Saturday night into Sunday. Rain amounts won't be much, but you'll notice that potentially as you go further north towards like Ladysmith area. Tonight, a few degrees warmer here than we've seen lately, but still some areas in the upper 30s. Most areas will probably be in the mid 40s, close to where we should be, but starting to get a little bit above average as the winds turn around. Then tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures approaching 80 in some areas, mid to upper 70s area wide. That wind out of the south begin to pick up, so quite a warm October day. If you look at records, we're not quite there compared to what it was 85 in 1962, about 3 to 4 degrees less for Eau Claire too. So not record level, but definitely very above average. And then there's your temperatures for Friday. The only thing we're doing with Friday is potentially some cloud cover coming ahead with that front. Still, we're going to start off with the mid to upper 50s overnight, so it won't take much to get back to potentially 80. So we could have a couple days of 80s. Big picture shows you, here's this front. I'll show you this front coming through Friday afternoon. It's really going to provide some cloud cover and a wind change. As you notice here, by Friday about noon, here it comes through. There's your wind change, some high clouds. Not expecting any precipitation with it, but for high school football, it might get a little bit breezy in the evening out of that north. We're talking about 10 to 15 miles per hour. It won't last long, but behind that front, it settles to the south. And here's our next system coming through. That could provide some showers going into Saturday night, especially further north, and then as it kind of digs further southeast, that could be potentially then for Sunday. By Sunday, that low parks over to the north, to the east of us, provides that north flow, cooler, much cooler conditions, along with showers going on Sunday and breezy conditions that could persist. But overall, we're not expecting a lot of precipitation with that. But notice the temperatures. We're going from 67 on Saturday to the mid-50s by the way we get to Monday and Tuesday, which is actually a little bit below average. The other big story will be if you haven't seen a frost or freeze this week, next week the growing season's pretty much going to be done area-wide because we should be well into the low 30s and potentially many areas into the 20s, maybe teens too. So back to reality, but enjoy through Friday.
We will.
All right, Greg, thank you.
Penguins take higher ground in the wake of Hurricane Helene.
Their new temporary homes right after this.
Tomorrow on News 8 Now this morning, they say music is healing, and we'll hear how the Family and Children's Center is harnessing that power in an upcoming mini concert. The details when you join us at 6.
Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows, installed by our experienced team. Contact us or stop into our showroom today for your free estimate.
As the mom of a daughter, I'm livid that boys are now being allowed to compete in girls' sports. It's just wrong. And I blame Tammy Baldwin. She voted to let biological men into women's sports. Worse, Baldwin co-sponsored legislation to force girls to share locker rooms with biological men. Tammy Baldwin is failing to keep our families safe. Tammy Baldwin's extreme values are wrong for Wisconsin. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The liberal elite in Washington are running one of their own here in Wisconsin. A political insider who worked to elect liberals in California, even supported a dark money group focused on defunding the police. Her name, Rebecca Cook, political operative bankrolled by the liberal elite. They handpicked her to help win back the House, trusted to elect liberal heroes like Mandela Barnes. They trust her because Rebecca Cook is one of them.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Fentanyl is one of the most lethal drugs on the market. This much can kill thousands. These deadly drugs are pouring across our border. But Biden, Harris, and Democrats have done nothing to stop it. Tammy Baldwin claims she's trying, but she's failed. She took credit for an anti-fentanyl bill she didn't write and opposed efforts to secure the border. Senator Baldwin and Democrats have done nothing, and our communities are paying the price.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
You just have to get in the seat of a John Deere Gator XUV 835M, not because of the spacious cargo box, or because it can tackle any terrain, not even because it tows up to 4,000 pounds. You just have to get in the seat because something about being this productive just makes you smile.
Visit Tractor Central, take a seat, and see for yourself why nothing runs like a Deere. Start now at TractorCentral.com.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
9 African penguins at the Florida Aquarium in Tampa were relocated to higher ground before Hurricane Milton makes landfall.
Workers used pet carriers and a set of wheels to take the penguins on a short elevator ride to their new temporary home.
And they moved up to the second floor, well above any type of tidal surge that might affect the building. And then we have several animals around the building that are on the ground floor that have all moved to second floor locations and safe locations that we plan for things like this. So they have nice homes, even though they may be a little temporary.
And from the looks of it, the penguins just seem to be going with the flow these days.
Yep, other animals that moved on up include snakes, turtles, and even 2 alligators.
All right, quite a mix there. And, you know, well, there's a lot of displacement going on down there. Animals, people. Hearts go out to everyone who's currently evacuating, and for the people who have stayed in their homes and are looking to barricade themselves in as the storm approaches, we wish them all well and safety.
We do. Okay, Greg, we'll have another look at your forecast right after the break.
Stock up this month with the Holman Locker and Meat Market's 10-pound sale. Save on pork loin roast, ground beef, chicken breast, and chuck roast. Please call to order. Holman Locker and Meat Market, and much, much more.
Politics these days stinks. Too much hot air, and you know what else. But I'm no stranger to putting in a hard day's work and getting the job done. I have a history of bipartisan accomplishments. It's a hard job, but I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. I can reach across the aisle and pass good bills just as easily as I can walk across the barnyard with my shovel. So whether it's doing chores on the farm or passing bills in Madison, I'm Steve Doyle, and I'm ready to get back to work for you.
I'm Steve from Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions. If you see discoloration or damaged wood here, that can mean rotted materials here. Cheap repairs or inserts can cause bigger problems fast. You need a trusted window company to replace the window and fix the surrounding materials correctly. Our team will complete our Weather Guardian 15-step installation process on every job to ensure your home and family are safe before we leave. Call now for our buy 3, get 1 free special. Choose Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions or something less.
Are you ready to build your future? Stella Jones Corporation in Bangor is hiring and wants you to apply. Starting wage for laborers is $21 per hour with a $2,500 hiring bonus. No experience but a great attitude? Then apply today. Stella Jones Corporation is where safety matters and wages sustain a comfortable living. If you have what it takes and can stand behind our railroads, then we want you to apply today.
100 Republicans who worked in national security for Presidents Reagan, both Bushes, and for President Trump, now endorsing Harris for president.
She came up as a prosecutor, an attorney general, into the Senate. She has the kind of character that's going to be necessary in the presidency.
Vice President Harris is standing in the breach at a critical moment in our nation's history. We have a shared commitment as Americans to do what's right for this country. This year, I am proudly casting my vote for Vice President Kamala Harris.
Former generals, secretaries of defense, secretaries of the Army, Navy, and Air Force, CIA directors, and National Security Council leaders under Democratic and Republican presidents, Republican members of Congress, and even former Trump administration officials agree there's only one candidate fit to lead our nation, and that's Kamala Harris.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Holman Locker and Meat Market, your place for fresh, quality, local meat. Now's the time to stock up with our fall bundle. Call and order yours today. Eat healthy, shop local at your Holman Locker and Meat Market, and much, much more.
Once again, should be a quiet morning, and my clicker is not working like it should be.
You know, it never seems to work at this point.
I don't know.
Right?
I keep
It's a
doing
nice
that.
view
but
of La Crosse, though, right? Look at that.
Here we go. Nope, it's not going to do. All right, so we're
Well, here's a lovely rendering of La Crosse.
So the good news is, like I said, we should be a little bit warmer tonight, more in the 40s tomorrow, potentially 80, and don't forget the aurora, the northern lights potential. They're going into tomorrow evening, which could be a great opportunity if we get the storming levels that are anticipated.
Okay, well, there's quite a little mix in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good activity coming.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 5.
We'll see you at 6.